Good day, and welcome to another Dragon Ball Super Fusion World card game video. To cut a long story short, we are going to be taking a look at the best starter deck to purchase. I've done a little bit of research into this based just currently on what the meta looks like, and obviously I need to select my starter deck. So I want to talk a little bit about each deck and basically why you should or shouldn't pick them. Now, just as a full disclaimer, pick whatever one you want. If you're not really into meta in these games, pick whichever guy you like. It's always better to be kind of into the character. But yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about each of the starter decks. So we're going to go with the worst selection first and then kind of push into the better selections. So we'll start with the good old Goku starter deck. So the reason why this one isn't so great, it's quite a balanced deck, to be honest with you. It's not anything bad. It's really not. Oh, L is leader cards. Okay, there we go. By the way, last video I was saying it was legendaries. No, it's leader cards. Yeah, this deck's quite balanced. Its high cost cards aren't anything major, and a lot of the deck's focus is actually on reducing the battle power of the opposition. Although that's not too bad, it's generally something that's quite difficult to manifest for beginning players. To be honest with you, it's not something you're going to generally cope with quite well. So it's definitely just something that's a little bit less reliable. You can find yourself losing out quite quickly early on, and without the consistency some of the other decks have, it's a bit of a problem. Next, surprisingly, in order, we have Vegeta's. So Vegeta is a little bit far more aggressive. You would have seen me lose the tutorial battle before I've done my research, by the way, but Vegeta is a little bit more aggressive as a card. Basically, your goal is to spend the cards. The less cards you have, the more powerful the deck is. You got units like Son Goten, kind of work with the 7 or fewer cards kind of principle. You've got this Galakan with 7 or fewer cards principle. Final Flash, and keeping your hand small in Dragon Ball Fusions is not super duper hard early on, so it's definitely a relatively easier deck. It's a bit more of an aggressive playstyle. Some players will kind of fit into it a little bit more overall than maybe Goku's, which is a little bit more reactive, kind of planning ahead, doesn't really work so well. So yeah, definitely probably better to go with Vegeta's, a bit more aggressive. Then the next best is going to be Frieza's. So Frieza is a little bit different, quite a bit better than Goku and Vegeta. A little bit more of a control-based deck. So Frieza's kind of design, it's quite good. You do need to think a little bit more though, so you have to understand a bit more about some of the other cards in the game. But basically, the big thing is that he has quite good ability to clear low-cost threats. So he has ability to kind of get rid of a lot of rest mode cards, like kind of just straight up. He's got lots of good control. So, like for example, with good old Kui, he's a blocker that draws 1 card when KO'd, which is fantastic because that's kind of their whole design. You can get some good combo power going, and just generally speaking, you have a lot of blockers. Lots of ways to force your opponent into rest mode with their cards, and then with that you can then kind of obviously use Frieza himself and King Cold to kind of like effectively like get the opponent to have a lot of rest mode cards and get rid of them, which is really, really good. It does require a little bit more understanding of the game than the other decks, but it's just a very, very, very potent one. Yeah. And then we have Broly. So Broly is a green deck, and green right now definitely feels like the most powerful typing early on in the game. You can get some easy access to excess energy, you can get very, very greedy, and you can use a lot of these resources pretty much freely with your deck. Broly also feels a lot stronger, like a lot stronger than the other starter leader cards. So Yeah, obviously Broly himself, 15,000 like the rest of them, but when you flip him, you can place one of your energy in your drop, draw one card, and then get plus 5,000 power, which kind of immediately puts you into like that 30,000 bracket, which is quite difficult to work around. Yeah, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. Obviously, it does require you to add one card from your life to your energy, so he does have a little bit more there. But in general, his cards are really quite powerful. You get a lot of like add one up to one card that costs 3 or more from your drop to your energy. You can gather energy super quick. Draw one card, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. You can get a lot of energy super quick, and this kind of makes it very easy to kind of whip out some of your stronger cards, which is really, really, really powerful. And then the more energy you have, the stronger the cards get. Like, they add the top card from your deck into energy. Choose up to your leader, get plus 15,000, get another 10,000 if you have 6 or more energy. If you have 6 or more energy, get another 5,000. So there's a lot of ways to kind of force, I don't want to say force, but to kind of push cards into your energy section, and this can give you a really, really accelerated early game and get you into just being super duper tanky. So Broly definitely feels like the best starter deck. If you're someone who's not interested in going meta, or you're someone who's looking for a little bit of a more kind of balanced playstyle, Goku's going to probably be, although the worst deck, probably the easiest kind of grasp with. Vegeta is also incredibly easy, but he's just an aggressive playstyle, but he is actually quite easy to understand. Frieza is probably one of the harder ones to understand, but in essence is quite chilled. And then Broly is just probably the best deck, but also does require a bit of understanding as well. We're going to pick up Broly, definitely, and grab him. And then we're going to register him as our deck, and then take things from there. So yeah, pretty good stuff. Right now, probably a really, 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 nice starter deck, but realistically you need to start to get cards, so buying packs and kind of seeing where you go from there is going to be super important. As of right now, we currently only have one pack type at this point in time, but we're going to see exactly where we can go with that. So, but yeah, all looking pretty good, and I will see you guys in the next one. So until then, bye.